Greetings, housemates, and welcome back to Learn to Play Endless Legend. I'm Phwop, and we are playing out the rest, like the really early game as the Necrophage. Now, we had an interesting thing happen. A Haunt army was spawned by our quest line to attack us, and it is worth seeing this in action. All right, so note that everyone's pieces move in real time, everyone's units, every turn. So if they're in a position where you can attack them at the beginning of one turn, they will run away as quickly as they can click. In this case, actually, we were the ones who, before the Haunts could come and siege our city, jumped inside. Because if you're attacking from outside the city, then the militia and defenders on the inside cannot get out to you. But if you attack from within, then outside units can join in the battle. Now, if all you have is militia on the inside, like we would if we didn't jump in really quick, then you can't actually initiate combat from the inside. So we're going to go over, since it popped up so early, exactly how sieging and fortification work. So, the basics are that, and you can see it here, you can't harvest anything. Note that the whole region is set to 0 for us, except the actual tiles that your city is built on. That means we lost access to all 6 of these tiles around us. Not only that, but the sieging army's siege strength, and that includes any other allied armies of theirs that are standing along this fence, is subtracted every round from our fortification value. Fortification value is bonus health that every unit gets if this city is attacked outright. So if they didn't siege us and instead simply attacked, then all of my units, the 3 militia and my hero and my 2 beat up foragers, would be given 150 bonus health each. And they would have to burn through that before they actually got to my real health and wounded my units. I would easily defeat them. Even my militia would easily crush them because that's so much bonus health. So instead, if you can't handle the fortification bonus health in the combat, but then again, neither can they destroy your attacking forces, you set up a siege. To siege, you have to be standing adjacent to one of the actual districts of the city, so bigger cities have more tiles with which you can begin sieging. And as long as you don't step away, as long as you stay adjacent, you can actually move around and do things. When you siege a city, no one can enter or leave unless there is a hero ability that lets them pass through sieges. You can't assign them out of it, they're there. Also, your fortification value starts to tick down depending on the strength of the enemy army. When your fortification hits, so your health regen is also nullified. So units within a siege city, or within the area of the siege, within these walls, do not gain health anymore. And furthermore, they can't actually escape. Whether they're an army or just the militia, there's no getting out of the wall. When fortification hits 0 and starts, then the siege damage starts being dealt as health damage to every unit inside. So you can't actually kill all of the units in here by sieging it. You don't instantly win. The city doesn't become yours. You actually have to attack, but it will be an instant victory if you siege a city long enough that all of its defenders die. So, what to do? We can't use anything. We can't get out. We have to attack. We may not even win because 2 haunts is a big problem. But we jumped inside here simply so we could fight alongside the militia because, and I don't know why this one militia healed up to full health instantly. It should have taken longer, but we either lucked out or it bugged out or something. These 3 militia are our hope. We're going to use them to tank. But to use them at all, we have to attack from inside the barrier. If we attack from outside, we'd be stuck with these 2 wounded foragers and our wounded hero. Remember also that our hero has the last stand ability, so if he dies, we'll get him back with a minimum of health. He's also going to level up. We could wait 1 turn, let them siege a little bit, because really, until they wear out our fortification, and that's going to take forever, we have nothing to worry about. We're just losing a ton of resources. Let's see. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything about how sieging works, because it is a pretty complex mechanic, and I wouldn't want to lead you guys astray. All right. Each turn, the city loses 1 defense point per besieging unit and per level of these units. So there are 2 of them, and they're each level 2, I assume, so we lose 4. Exploitation area terrain tiles no longer productive. All the expansions outside the city, such as extractors, are disabled and cannot be built. Pacified village workers are no longer available. Science and dust production is divided by 2. Besieged city suffers a loss of approval. In our case, it is 10 approval. Units within a besieged city or on a city tile have their regeneration disabled. And armies located on city tiles or in the garrison cannot leave the city except to attack the besieger. Heroes in both the besieging army and the besieged city gain more experience. The siege ends when the enemy army has been destroyed or when the city is conquered or when they leave. All right, so we know what's going on. We've got until the fortification runs out before we start to die, but we're not going to get any healthier. And the only thing worth waiting for is for our hero to level up. But then, of course, if you look at our city's production, it is pretty dismal. And every turn we spend here, other people get further and further ahead. And when I level up, my hero is going to get a 10% boost in statistics, and you know what? I don't think I need to wait. Let's go for it, because it's not going to change my plan to spend my next skill point on increasing my food output, which isn't a combat improvement, so not so much we can do. Let me consider what equipment I want, however. So you can choose from different weapons from the very get-go, but if there's a difference in production from what you had, which is 12, to what you want, then it's going to cost you some gold. Now, heroes, you'll note that it says production, right? You instantly equip heroes. You can only change equipment when you're within one of your owned regions. And since you don't build heroes, you simply have to pay for the amount of production or the special resources, or both, that you are retrofitting them. Whereas other units, you make a design and you can build that. But if you retrofit existing units with your new design, then you'll just pay X amount of gold and maybe some special resources like titanium. And that's that. So, what can we get here? We have Ranged Slayer. Unfortunately, we're not fighting ranged. We have Sweep, Strike Back, and we have our Shield. Now, our enemies are brutal. Let's reset our changes and look at exactly what we have. What's helping us? Infantry Slayer. No, these are flying units. We have +9 attack and +2 defense, and +4. So we have +9 attack, +6 defense, and then block is helping us out by reducing damage by 10%. However, we could have +15 attack, +5 initiative, and +4 damage. Or we could have +12 attack, +10 damage, and a better counter attack. I think the iron claws or the axe. The extra attack is good, as those things have pretty decent attack, and the extra damage is even better. So we're going to go with the claws. Now we give up our shield, and our defense drops a good bit, but our damage is 38. That's plus 10, so that's actually more than a 25% increase in damage. Which of course is increased a little bit by our 15% attack boost. For armor, we're already wearing what we got. Here we can make some gains, perhaps. We can have improved movement or improved vision and sharp sense. Neither one of those is going to help in this battle. Let's just spend our 8 and be done. Likewise, when you're looking for every scrap of benefit, we can actually upgrade the foragers. So let's see what they got. We have Range Slayer, Sweep Strike Back, and Block. So the axe that we currently have, axe and shield equipped and no armor. The axe is 9 attack and 1 initiative, whereas the claws are 12 attack and 10 extra damage. Yeah, we need damage. Now, the claws are two-handed weapons, so you can't equip a shield with it, but that's fine. We want the extra health and the extra defense and extra initiative and a little more defense we get from these guys. And lastly, I think that is enough. Okay, so you see it's not gold here because it's not a hero. We're not instantly purchasing this, but it is 108 production, which is probably a little out of our price range. Let's see what it is to simply do this. 84, rough. Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe it is doable. So we chose... So let's see if we can retrofit these guys. Note that here it is. It is 35 gold each. Worth it. Okay, so now this is a Forager 2. Note that it's got Sweep Strike Back. And then this is still a Forager 1 with the Axe and Sword and Shield. Note that this guy's got a little more health, 18 more health, a little more defense because we equipped it with armor, and a little more attack and a lot more damage. Generally, I don't retrofit this early in the game, but obviously we're in a little bit of trouble. Now, your militia and your mercenaries, you can't change their equipment. That's rough. But now, equipped with these claws, we're not focusing on being able to beat a specific class of enemy. We are focusing on dealing damage and attacking instead. Plus, the addition of armor makes our little foragers that much better. All right, we've talked about sieging. We've scraped the bottom of the barrel for everything we can. You understand why retrofitting costs money. It's because you're not building the unit from scratch. Now, when we go to build the unit, it is going to take longer than it did, but at least it's going to be awesome when it's done. All right, ready, set. Let's go. All right, so combat begins. Note we have these reinforcements coming in. We cannot control how they're equipped. And of course, these guys have chain lightning. That's bad. The good news is the city district tile is actually going to be quite powerful. It increases morale by 1 just for standing on it. And that's going to be a great place to post up our hero and have him fend off these douchebags. Okay, so deployment, we're going to deploy further back. I want my hero there. And I want these guys further away rather than closer. Okay. I want these guys to think... I want them to hold still unless I tell them to move. I want one of each of these to attack differently, and I want him to hold still and stay on this awesome piece of ground. Hopefully, they'll probably take this high ground right here, which sucks for us. But remember, their chain lightning is not going to do anything for them here. Alright, so we're trading evenly. That's nice. Note that if they maintain this formation, our sweep strike back is going to be great. Alright, we get the high ground. That gives us 30% increased attack against these guys, but they get 50% increased defense in the forest. Alright, critical miss there, and we only do 1 damage. Okay, the third militia is joining up. We finally get our attack, and that sweep strike back lets us damage both of them. However, its chain lightning is bad news bears for us. Oh, another critical miss. There was only a 13% chance. Again, come on, guys. Okay, and this militia comes to join the battle. We may well lose our hero here. You just hold. You move there. And maybe get aggressive next turn. Okay, I want them to move to make room for this guy to move in next turn. All right, let it begin. Kill my minion. Yeah, so we took no damage. Excellent. And we hit both of them. All right, we're doing great. And it looks like we're actually going to pull out without losing our hero. Not that it would make a difference as long as someone survived the battle. And his really high morale is why we've been taking pretty much no damage. And part of that morale comes from being next to troops. Part of it comes from being awesome. And we level up. So we get 11 XP, 2 more cadavers for the cadaver pile, and somehow nothing died. That's the beauty of proper positioning and tactics, my friends. Learn to love them. All right, we're going to take a first point in necrotic agriculture because the very first thing you should do is build up a necrophage hero as a governor focused on food, because 3 levels in this and 3 levels in cadaverous pesticides is crazy good. The other faction-specific stuff, if you're going for more of an attacky hero, this increases just your hero's attack by 25%, which can be a lot. This increases army regen everywhere, including in hostile lands. This increases army healing in friendly lands. And together you can just have an army that heals ultra fast. But for governor, you definitely want this, and eventually this. Inspirational leader is just sick. Remember, each level stacks on top of previous levels, so eventually this is 20% more growth in everywhere. The best path to get there might be a little tough to say. This can also make units cheaper to build wherever this governor is. If I were going to make a super governor, it'd probably be all out here, here, 1 point here, all out here, a point here, maybe all out later, and then 3 points here. And if I made a beeline, I would probably go for food. Oops, forgot to assign my point. All right, so now, if we assign him to be a governor, he will produce 8 food on his own. I would prefer to have him run rampant around the area instead. Okay, so we completed the objective. Seeking revenge, Haunt's army comes to attack us. We get 10 Quicksilver. The effect for Quicksilver is double XP for your units and plus 10 approval on your cities for 10 turns. And it is time for quest number 2. Our new objective is search the unspoiled ruins. It'll tell you which one by show location, after gathering 10 titanium and 20 dye. Alright, so where are we going to get dye? And our reward will be 15 spices, and we'll have completed the quest. Alright, so here, this little button here says show the location of this quest objective. It is this ruin right next to us. The dye is going to be a trouble. We already have the titanium. But it does look like dye is available in Lethe. We've already pacified the village there, and haunts are pretty good, plus they give us science. It might be the place to go. Plus, it looks like there's a ton of anomalies here. Alright, so if we are going for dye, we're going to need to research this technology. And do I want to... We're going to jump it ahead of some of these other techs. Okay, thankfully our city is back to normal. We can heal over time. We heal pretty fast. Even though we're all beat up, we'll be right as rain in 8 or 9 turns. The siege was lifted with no losses, mainly thanks to exploiting the high ground and not sending in weakened units. Of course, the power of our militia helped a lot. So, I'm going to end this video here as a nice little fortification and desperation tactics tutorial. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up if you learned anything. If you want to see more of these videos as I produce them, then subscribe. And remember, it's all downhill from here.